original rock star, Paganini's wildlife fame and scandal. Now, people of my generation and a little bit younger and a little bit older, we're from the rock era, right? We are children of the rock era. And, seeing rock stars from the 50s on up into the 70s, 80s, and even 90s, and some into the 2000s. The rock star lifestyle. We thought, and it was something, an epiphany came to me when I did a little research on the lifestyle of Paganini. Now, we all know, if you're not familiar, Paganini was the great Italian violinist, composer, and he was also a guitarist, which is something when I did a deep dive, it really resonated with me. It's like, wow. And I guess he had mastered the guitar, right? But he never performed it live. He only played the guitar for his conquest, his female companions that he would try to woo back at the house. He would pick up the guitar and play something amazing and woo the women to bed. And, reading about Paganini's path, the path that he chose, and the rumor of the dark forces behind him that gave him his talent, well, man, it is the rock star lifestyle. Now, I am sure that there are probably other people in history's past that maybe led an equally wild lifestyle, and you can let me know those names in the comments, some other people that I should research. But look, whether it's Jimi Hendrix or Kurt Cobain or Elvis or any of these people who have kind of fallen by a tragic lifestyle, tragic dream of chasing success, of becoming a virtuoso. And, you could compare Yngwie Malmsteen to Niccolò Paganini. It's definitely something that you could relate those two. And if you're looking for somebody who has sort of encompassed that stylistic thing on guitar, Yngwie Malmsteen would be the main example. There are a lot of neoclassical guitarists, but he would be the main one most people would potentially know of. And, but look at the great film Crossroads. Look at the character that Steve Vai played in the film of the devil's guitarist. The long, stringy hair, the, lean physique, the drinking of the wine, the Paganini piece, he plays an excerpt from one of Paganini's pieces in that solo in that movie. And you know what? The resemblance, the similarities to Niccolò Paganini are pretty incredible. Now, look, Paganini's groundbreaking violin technique of flying staccato and pizzicato innovations, it's like imagining somebody that there are no recordings of Paganini, which even more lends to the, shall we say, mystery and intrigue of what it would have sounded like. But he left behind the music that he had written, and there are some groundbreaking recordings of people who have taken on the challenge of playing these pieces, even people playing them on guitar, and they are are incredible. The things that he did, the flying around, the intensity of what he played, and his wild lifestyle, and the rumor of his deal with the devil. Now, I started watching last night. I have not finished the film, but there's a movie called The Devil's Violinist. And it's a pretty good movie. I think there could have been maybe some better acting. The guy that plays the violin in it has an incredible look, and he embodies the rock star lifestyle, and his playing on the violin is incredible. The acting is okay, but it's good for getting a feel for Paganini and his lifestyle. Because look, Paganini had a let's just say an affinity for the ladies. This is all, betting many different women, and and the health things that would happen from that. It is said that Paganini had syphilis, right? And in order to combat the ravages of that, he would drink mercury and smoke opium. So not only on top of all of that, he was also a gambler, and would lose a lot of his earnings gambling, thinking that he could go and double his money. Oh, I'll take this money and I'll go double it. And the let's say the arrogance of thinking that he could beat the casino. Even back then, the odds were never in your favor. A gambling man, a rambling man, that's the lifestyle that he led. And, watching that film, man, it really hits home, because, you like to think that rock stars started in the 50s and all that, but man, the idea of a traveling musician and leading a shall we say it, more bohemian lifestyle. I mean, this is not a pious, church-going, sit in the pew and, with his wife and his two children. Paganini had a son, and he had a son with a woman who he did not wed. And he was known for philandering and living a wild lifestyle. And his appearance, long, stringy hair, skeletal figure, and then the wildness of his playing and the speed with which he played made people think that he had done a deal with the devil in order to gain virtuosic skills. Perhaps all rock stars in some way have done that deal, because they've forsaken a normal life, and they've taken on the life of someone who travels, a vagabond. Virtuosos like Eddie Van Halen, you could compare parts of his life to that. Now, look, you can only assume that Eddie Van Halen had dalliances on the road, but let's be realistic. There are tales of that as well. If you read Noel Monk's book, that traveling from town to town can take a toll on you, even if there's no substances or drinking involved. You're leading a very high, shall we say, risk lifestyle. The theatrical performance of Niccolò Paganini, is groundbreaking. He would break strings mid-show and continue to play flawlessly. Now, how many, let me know in the comments. There's clips online of guitar players doing stuff like that. I think there's a clip of B.B. King breaking a string, and the guy comes over and just runs the string through, and he puts the string through, and then boom, he's back up and running. There's several clips of that online, but Paganini would continue to play, and it is rumored that he would intentionally break strings on his violin by very hard and very aggressive playing, and then continue to play flawlessly. It was almost like he was toying with the audience. You know, his stage antics were wild for that time. And, bands have been using wild stage antics, in the rock era, bands like Alice Cooper and Kiss. And, just about every rock star uses some kind of theatrical, performance technique. And, it's people like Paganini who really paved the way for the rock era and the shredding. Imagine, could he be the first shredder? Let me know in the comments, because, classical music is not something that's my forte, but this is really fascinating. The dark side of Paganini's life, the rumors that he sold his soul for his talent due to his otherworldly skill and eerie persona. Paganini played up the rumors of his skill. He played up that he had sold his soul, that he was the devil's violinist, and the frenetic way that he played and the outrageous performance that he would do. Also, his infamous gambling habits, his love affairs, his lifestyle mirrored the chaos of modern rock legends. The stories of his scandals, like his time in prison, and the mysterious circumstances of his death. In 1813, rumors spread that Paganini had been imprisoned for seducing a wealthy woman and possibly murdering her lover. While the truth of these allegations is murky, the story added to his mystique. Paganini played into these rumors using his mysterious and almost sinister reputation to draw more attention to his performances. This era is like the tabloid era for modern rock stars. Controversy became part of his culture. The devil's violinist legend, Paganini's skill was so extraordinary that people believed he must have sold his soul to the devil to achieve it. His gaunt, almost skeletal appearance and dramatic performances only fueled these stories. He even encouraged the rumors by not denying them, letting the intrigue grow. The price of fame, Paganini's health and mysterious death. Health declined. Paganini suffered from several chronic illnesses, including Marfan syndrome, a condition that gave him elongated fingers, which contributed to his extraordinary reach on his violin. His grueling touring schedule, poor diet, and overall rock star-like lifestyle took a toll on his body, leading to frequent illnesses and pain. Paganini's health, final years, and mysterious death. Paganini's health worsened significantly in the late 1830s. His voice deteriorated to the point where he could no longer speak due to throat issues. He passed away in 1840 in Nice, France, under somewhat mysterious circumstances, as the exact cause of death was unclear. Some say it was tuberculosis. Others speculate syphilis or laryngeal cancer. Adding to the mystery, the Catholic Church refused to bury him on consecrated ground because of the deal with the devil rumors and his perceived unholy lifestyle. His body remained unburied for months and was moved multiple times before finally being interred in Parma years later. Paganini's relentless pursuit of perfection and grueling touring schedule took a toll on his health. Chronic illnesses and skeletal issues. The parallels to modern rock stars who burn out or struggle with physical and mental health issues. Now, one thing you have to note, that if you are a musician relying on your extreme skill and the power of your youth and your technique, having to reproduce this over and over again, despite the demands of touring, despite the wear and tear on the body and the physical and mental toll that lifestyle takes. Now imagine this. There were no tour buses back in these days. There were no jets. So riding around, taking boats across to other areas and riding in a horse and carriage, through dirty streets. Hygiene was not the same as it is these days. And I can only imagine riding in a horse on cobblestone streets. The slow pace and the amount of time it would take to get to somewhere would, obviously take a toll, just like it takes a toll on traveling musicians today. Paganini's legacy lives on in the world of music, influencing virtuosity in both classical and modern genres. Shredders like Yngwie, Malmsteen openly credit Paganini for inspiring their neoclassical rock styles. His role in establishing the rockstar mythos cannot be denied. His unparalleled talent, mystique, and his self-destruction. Ultimately, time ravages all legends, but ultimately Paganini sped up the process with his penchant for wild women, his penchant for gambling, his substance abuse, and his self-destruction. Paganini's life mirrors the arc of so many rock stars we know today. I'm going to leave you with a thought-provoking question. Is the rock star lifestyle inherently self-destructive, or is it simply the price of genius?